Okay, folks, welcome one more time to Unfiltered. We're going to have a very, very interesting discussion, as we always do. You know, this I've just been doing lawyers back to back to back. Somehow, I don't know, wasn't planned that way. You know, the first person we spoke to a few weeks ago was Tadio Sori, very, very enchanting and charming person. And then we spoke to Oliver Baka Vomawo. And today, I'm talking to another lawyer, but it's in a different scope. Now check this out, people. You know, one of the, should I say, major criticisms of the last administration, His Excellency Akufo-Addo, was family and friends. Ghanaians say, what's this nepotism? Everybody is a family or a friend, blah, 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 blah. So, well, we went to the election and Ghanaians voted out that whole show. Now, Mahama is in power, and people are now getting sort of uncomfortable. You know, there's a deal, you know, called the Black Volta, and the mining concession. They say, Mahama, but they're the brother. You used to say we are against family and friends. So, of course, you know, I said, this is wrong. I have to get to the bottom of this. So this is part of my getting to the bottom. And I have here an attorney for engineers and planners, which is Ibrahim Mahama's company. Just so I can, I don't know whether legally I can say cross-examine, to find out what's going on. And his name is Shosola, Bobby Banson, man. Bobby, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you. Good to have you.
Same here. I'm really honored to be here. Having watched you since childhood, having watched some of your shows at the National Theatre.
Oh, wow.
Particularly your Lumambuge dance.
You saw that?
Yes. Practice some of them, and it's a real privilege to be sitting next to you.
Oh, wow, that's great. By the way, that was a KSM 50.
Yes.
Believe it or not, that was 19 years ago.
Long ago.
Anyway, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And as I did in my introduction, you know, that's a talk, you know, and that is something that people are not happy with. Of course, I wasn't happy with when I had it, you know. So, what's this? More family and friends? So anyway, I decided I would hunt, and your name came up in the process. So that's what I want us to discuss, you know. First of all, you know, there's this thing going around about family and friends coming back. Take a quick look at one of those protesters and what they said. Take a look at this.
But you see, Mr. President, I don't blame you if you cannot do anything. Because now your brother, Mr. Mahama, Ibrahim Mahama, is controlling today, he's controlling Ghana's biggest gold mine. So what can you do about Galamsey? If your brother himself...
Controlling the biggest Galamsey site
No, I'm coming to this. You see, if the president's direct brother...
Are we against mining or illegal mining?
So the thing is this. Who's going to draw that line?
Let's be very specific.
Yes, but who's going to draw the line and say this is legal or illegal mining?
So you heard him?
Yes.
Okay. So, Bobby, what's happening really? What's this deal and this whole thing about now that Mahama is back in power, he's starting to dole out stuff to family?
Well, I think that anybody who make that comment really does not appreciate the whole idea of the processes and the procedures that have resulted in engineers and planners acquiring the Black Volta and Sankofa mines. The first thing that I would want to say is that it is not the case that a mining lease has been given to engineers and planners by the government of Ghana. Government of Ghana has not issued a mining lease to engineers and planners. Engineers and planners acquired a company that already owns a mining lease, or a company that has been issued a mining lease.
And engineers and planners have acquired that company.
Has acquired that company. That company was issued a mining lease in 2014. So it is not as if Government of Ghana through the Lands Commission, Minerals Commission has now issued a mining lease to engineers and planners. That is not so.
So the original concession was what, 2014?
2014. That was the new lease that was issued by the the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to two companies. One company is called Azuma Resources Ghana Limited. Another company is called Upwest Resources Limited. The Upwest Resources Limited, the tenement, as they call it, is what is referred to as the Sankofa Gold Project. And that of the Azuma Resources, it's what is called the Black Volta Gold Project. So the two of them is commonly referred to as the Black Volta because they are in the Upper West region. And that is where the Black Volta flows, and that is why they call it like that. So it is not as if Government of Ghana through the the Lands Commission or the Ministry of Lands has now in 2025 issued a mining lease to engineers and planners. No, engineers and planners has acquired a company that the Government of Ghana in 2014 issued a mining lease to. Now the processes that engineers and planners went through to acquire this company did not start on the 8th of January 2025. The processes started in 2022, culminated in the signing of an agreement in 2023. From 2023, engineers and planners has been financing the operations, or most of the operations, or part of the operations of those companies from 2023. That is way before elections. And then 2024, there was a dispute because the parties to the agreement had some disagreement. The dispute went to the International Chamber of Commerce, and in 2024, and it's got nothing to do with any political influence. International Chamber of Commerce is an independent institution. It's based in Paris, but they have their court, arbitration court in London that settles such disputes.
So basically, it has nothing to do with this government.
Absolutely,
it's been going on way before.
Absolutely nothing to do with this government. This government did not play any role apart from the regulatory role of when you want to acquire interest in a company that has been issued a mining lease, you must apply to them for what is called the no objection letter. That you must demonstrate that you have the capacity in terms of technical, in terms of financial, you have track record to be able to develop the mine in the terms of the original lease, the mining lease. Engineers and planners applied. And looking at engineers and planners track record, this is a company established in 1997. As we speak now, it is the most or the largest mining contractor in Ghana. I dare say the largest mining contractor in Africa. Looking at the contract works it does for Takwa, Diamine, and Cardinal mines all in Ghana. And all of these contracts, Takwa, Diamine, Cardinal, engineers and planners obtained it during the time of the MPP government. Only because it has the capacity to. Capacity, expertise that it has taken time to build over years. That is why, KSM, you will never hear any mining incident in any of the mines that engineers and planners is the mining contractor in. Not in Takwa, not in Diamine, not in Cardinal. And at no point in time has any of the employers of engineers and planners, that is the companies that actually own the lease, had a cause to complain about the ability of engineers and planners.
That is somewhat, listening to all these facts, that is somewhat upset you, but yes, so what is the prevailing belief now that this is a friends and family replay?
Because what it means is that all the efforts that professionals have put in to bring this deal to fruition, it's not being recognized. And if you are not careful, it may discourage you. You see, it is not everything that happens that must have political undertones. I unfortunately, I heard the person trying to liken it to Galamsey. I mean, that is the height of misunderstanding of what is happening. A mining contractor of international repute, like engineers and planners, you can never say that they want to do Galamsey. I mean, we are the contract agreement, the original contract agreement. This is public information, so I'm not disclosing anything confidential. The contract agreement originally had a value of $100 million. Who will pay $100 million to go and do Galamsey? If he wants to do Galamsey, he will just wake up.
I think the word Galamsey is now in Ghana equated to mining.
Yes.
When your mine is called Galamsey.
Then,
so I get.
What would you say Goldfields is doing? What would you say Pesos Mining? What would you say all the other companies? That is regulated mining, responsible mining. It is different from unregulated mining or illegal mining. And so what engineers and planners are going to do, which is what they've been doing since 1997, is to engage in the activities in accordance with law, as it were. And so there's at no point in time will engineers and planners engage in illegal mining activity. Other than that, why would they go through all the processes since 2022 to come to this point in respect of this project?
Well, for me personally, it was good to hear that this political dimension is really overplayed. Not even talk about overplayed. Shouldn't even be thrown into
the mix at all.
The mix at all.
The mix at all. The political fortunes of his brother had nothing to do with the negotiations that led to the signing of the agreement.
The optics, though, it creates this impression. Do you just ignore that, or do you make some cautious effort to educate and let people understand that it's just optics? I mean, Ibrahim being in the center of this cause for this kind of speculation and talk.
In the past, one would have said, let's just ignore it. But, in this developed world, because EMP engages in a lot of international transactions, any due diligence report would flag the fact that his brother is president. Now, if the media in Ghana continues to publish wrong information that since his brother became president, they have taken a mine and handed it over to him, we would have to keep explaining to the international partners to say, it is not the case. They know us, they believe us, but that is what the local media is reporting. That is why this time engineers and planners say we have to let the truth be known. Look at the gentleman, I'm sure he's educated, he spoke good English, saying that it is equal to Galamsey.
But you see, Mr. President, I don't blame you if you cannot do anything. Because now your brother, Mr. Mahama, Ibrahim Mahama, is controlling today, he's controlling Ghana's biggest gold mine. So what can you do about Galamsey? If your brother himself...
Controlling the biggest Galamsey site
No, I'm coming to this. You see, if the president's direct brother...
Are we against mining or illegal mining?
So the thing is this. Who is going to draw that line?
Very specific.
Yes, but who's going to draw the line and say this is legal or illegal mining?
Because of misinformation that is being fed. But you cannot, under any with any stretch of imagination, equate the mining activities of engineers and planners to Galamsey, let alone this transaction. If engineers and planners did not intend to go through the correct legal processes, we will not be fighting, or we will not have fought.
How long has this been going on? The legal process is trying to...
was initial contact between the parties was in 2022. Negotiations dovetailed into 2023. Signed agreement in October 2023. Dispute officially started in October 2024. And during that time, his brother was not in power. So one could have also argued that, because his brother was in opposition in 2024, that is why they are denying him an agreement that he has signed. But engineers and planners didn't do that. They focused on it, went through, and you see the application, the orders that we got from the courts to preserve the status quo pending the determination of the ICC. Those motions were filed in 2024. They've got nothing to do with the fact that, the exchange of government and everything. And so I think anybody who makes that assertion is just trying to be mischievous and making political point out of it. But the unfortunate thing is KSM, you see, if you go to engineers and planners with over 6,000 workers across the country or more, you cannot say that every person that is employed by engineers and planners goes to vote for a certain political party.
That's so true.
I mean, look at the corporate social responsibilities, interventions that engineers and planners, publicly, everybody knows they do. They build schools, they invest in hospitals, they help people. Have you ever heard them say, this person, because he's a party person, I'm going to, so I think that when people carry that narrative, they forget that the effect goes beyond politics. It discourages local entrepreneurship. It dampens the spirit of professionals. You have no idea the professionals that have dedicated 2-3 years of their lives. Because this is the first time a large-scale mine of this magnitude will be owned wholly by a Ghanaian. Wholly by a Ghanaian.
Yeah. That for me was one of the most important issues, that, this is the first time. It's a Ghanaian-owned mine?
It's a Ghanaian-owned mine. Every single thing about this would be controlled by a Ghanaian. It is the first time. When we moved away from the states owning the mines to private, this is the first time. And so we should rather applaud engineers and planners for taking this risk. It cost the cost of developing the mine was originally estimated to be about $150-160 million. The cost of paying off for total acquisition of the mine was $100 million. I think sometime in July, a deal was signed between engineers and planners and ECOWAS Bank for West Africa. This is an international bank, not a Ghanaian bank. International bank, agreeing to give engineers and planners the funds to be able to acquire the mine. Now, the due diligence that they would do on engineers and planners, the kind of boxes that engineers and planners would have to take to be able to raise $100 million is no joke.
That's a lot.
And the agreement between engineers and planners and ECOWAS Bank was consummated in 2024 before elections. The letters, the agreement, everything was done. It was only signed publicly in July, but the agreement itself, everything, the approvals was done before elections in 2024. So for anybody to say that, because his brother became president, a bank has decided to give him money, is really dumb. I mean, you cannot take your brother's presidency in Ghana to go to ECOWAS Bank for West Africa and say Nigeria or the English-speaking countries should give your brother money because you are president. And Mr. President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama became president in January 2025. No person involved in financial transactions will tell you that between January 2025 and then now, we've been able to raise $100 million because we just started the process. You must have started the process long ago. All the documents, all the approvals were procured before elections. Before elections. So this is pure arm's length transaction, devoid of any political interference or involvement till date. And that is how it will remain. And like I said, Engineers and Planners is the largest mining contractor in Ghana. None of the contracts that companies like Goldfields, like Cardinal, has given to engineers and planners were given to engineers and planners on a silver plate. There were proper bids, tenders, scrutiny that they went through to confirm their financial and technical capacity and expertise, and it was awarded to them. And Cardinal, Goldfields, Takwa Diamond were awarded to engineers and planners at the time when MPP was in power. So if it's got to do with any political connections for the success of the operations of engineers and planners, it wouldn't have been in these times that they would have. I mean, we can't take it away from him. We have a star in our country in the form of this company that is being praised internationally for what he's doing. Instead of us throwing political shades for whatever effort, I believe that we should rather encourage the company and all those that are around it to do more.
But we are not merely here to celebrate or to witness the signing of a facility agreement. We are here to celebrate a milestone. We are here to affirm a vision and embrace a bold new chapter in Ghana's economic story, led not by foreign interests, but by our own. Ladies and gentlemen, for decades I have passionately argued, sometimes with frustration, always with conviction, that Ghanaians must be empowered to move from the periphery to the center of the mining value chain. We cannot continue to be mere labor providers or royalty collectors while others control the equity, the strategy, and ultimately the wealth of the nation. Today, I feel vindicated. Engineers and Planners, a wholly owned Ghanaian company, has secured $100 million facility from ECOWAS Bank for investment and development to acquire the Black Volta gold project. Now, this will be the first large-scale indigenous-owned gold mining project in country, a long overdue breakthrough and a powerful symbol of what is possible when vision meets courage and ambition meets execution. Ladies and gentlemen, let us be clear. And I repeat, let us be clear. This is not a favor. There is no political patronage here. This is not crony capitalism. This is not about friends and family. The deal we are witnessing here today was actually initiated as far back as 2023, October, with no fanfare, no interference, and no backroom dealings. It is, in every sense of the word, a commercial transaction built on merit, backed by a strong balance sheet, and grounded in solid business fundamentals.
And it is quite a big deal to have for the first time a Ghanaian-owned mining company in Ghana, because everybody here, they are foreign. And that's where they send their money.
All the money, all the
this
profits
one,
go to...
do we have guarantees that they get to stay in Ghana?
Oh, you know him. He doesn't have passport for any other country, so he's pure Ghanaian, 100%. Everything, you know, all his businesses, I mean, I want to take it away from one person, but engineers and planners, everything about the company has remained in this country. There's not going to be dividends that will be paid to shareholders outside Ghana. That will affect when money is taken away, you are going to say the cedi is depreciating, because when the gold is sold, now we have the gold board. They give it the gold board, whoever off-takers are, all the dollars are coming to Ghana. What it means is that it will be a backbone for the stabilization of our local currency. Look at the job opportunities, look at the economies of scale, everything that is driven, even the pride alone, the value that comes in the pride. That the people of Upper West, if you talk about the northern regions, one of their own owns the biggest mine in terms of local ownership in that region, develop it for the benefit of his people and Ghanaians at large. The pride alone, the value that the pride brings cannot be compared to anything. So I have no doubt that it will really change the game. All over the years, it started from local participation. Let us give Ghanaians some bits along the value chain. Maybe they will supply fuel, they will do this, they will do this. Then they say local content, a minimum percentage of your cost should be spent in Ghana. Now we are going into local ownership. So it is progress.
Massive progress. Here's the thing too. People are like, who is aware of how much the gold miners are making and how much they're taking away into their countries? Do you think that maybe shedding some light on that aspect of it being Ghanaian, what are we to expect, you know, like on a very minimal basis for Ghana to own its own mining company? What does it mean to Ghana? What does it mean for Ghana? Do you think there's a need to get that kind of public education pushed out there so that people now really understand what's at stake here?
I think that when all this is done, production starts and everything, I expect the Minerals Commission, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources perhaps would come up to give more details. But on top of my head, KSM, there's the possibility that when production starts or even before, this project may be listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange for Ghanaians to own parts of it. There's a possibility. Why? Because the total ownership is rested in Ghana. Every person that earns from this production will pay taxes in Ghana. So you will not have a white man sitting in his own country. He would have to go and pay taxes from earnings here in his country as well. Everything will remain here. Government will get corporate taxes. Everything that relates to this mine will remain here. And so it's a good step. There's a lot of pride to have in respect of this project, and I can't wait for it to start, and then every Ghanaian will benefit from it.
In your own estimation, once it starts and hopefully it gets off the ground as soon as possible, what are the timelines are we looking at before Ghana starts feeling that, wow, the game has changed?
I'm not an expert in terms of the production, but from the documentation that I have seen, looking at a period of about 36 months for first pour, they call it. About 36 months for first pour. Yeah. The mine, I think, has a lifespan of about 15 years minimum. So, 36 months, I think, once they start. There's exploration, building, tailing dams, all the things that come with it. Within 36 months, they should have first pour, should have first gold from that place, and then we'll all be there to celebrate.
Are we looking into, like, what do you call that, bullions, like gold bullions, and that can be stored, obviously, at our banks,
Yes, I'm aware of plans to build large-scale gold refineries. I think at the mining convention, I heard the Gold Board CEO say that their plans are far advanced to build refineries.
Out of the research agenda of President Mahama, the Gold Board, in conjunction with the Bank of Ghana, is partnering local refineries such as the Gold Coast Refinery to begin the local refining of gold purchased and exported by the Gold Board. And this will begin next month, October 2025. We have secured a parcel of land at the cargo village at the Kotoka International Airport to build an ultramodern ISO-certified assay laboratory with the aim of changing Ghana's assay regime from SRF and water density to the golden standard of assay, fire assay, for all gold, both small scale and large scale, produced in or exported from Ghana. I am happy to inform you that on that same parcel of land secured by the Gold Board, we will be building a wholly state-owned and international standard gold refinery to further advance the local refining of gold, transitioning Ghana from the export of dowry to bullion.
So what it means is that the raw gold that is taken from the project likely to be refined here, because if the plant goes through, the refinery will be here. We'll keep everything here. We'll have gold here instead of taking them outside to be refined for us to now not get the real value. Everything will be refined here. And it will increase the value, would have full benefit. It means that what we export, we'll get more money for it, other than exporting the raw gold. And then banks may decide to play in that space as well, of having bullions and gold exchanges and what have you.
Well, for me, it's a game changer for the country. You know, that instead of now thinking about, are we going to what's the word? Nationalize other fields, and fine if we have to nationalize them. But this is something that we own.
Yes.
And the profits are not being repatriated to any mother country outside Ghana. You know, so
or Isle of Man.
So it's fantastic news, and I really hope that Ghanaians will get to the point where I think one of our biggest problems, and I've said it on several occasions, that is the politicization, not politicization, the partisanization of politicization, is one of the banes of our problems in this country, you know. Because this can be looked at in two ways, you know. We have a Ghanaian company that has come up and we are mining, and this is the first time that Ghana as a country has Ghanaians owning and mining their own gold, you know. And that's the narrative. But if we allow the politics to creep in, they become something totally different. And then this has come, and Mahama has given this to his brother, and it is so narrowed to such mediocre levels.
That's the sad part. You know,
that's the sad part, and it happens very easily in Ghana when it comes to politics.
Faso, you see how the heads of state decided to deal with the foreign mines. We do not have that situation here. You have a company wholly owned by a Ghanaian going into an arm's length commercial transaction, pay the value of the mine, start exploration without any government assistance or involvement. And I think that, you know, we say in Trinidad, or food piano. I think that the company needs to be celebrated, for the risk is a huge risk.
It is.
It is a huge risk. But looking at the track record of engineers and planners, there's no venture that they've stepped in that has resulted in failure. And I do not think this will be the first time.
And I as the lawyers would say, I concur. So you personally, what has been the level of your involvement? Because when I was on my search to find out whether this was a family and friends thing, your name came up as one of the lawyers who actually helped in the drafting of whatever agreement and contractual, So what has been your personal involvement? Let me just get some.
As Council for Engineers and Planners, I think right from the beginning when the deal was offered, or the offer was made to engineers and planners to acquire, I was already working for engineers and planners. So I was drawn into handle, and I've been the lead counsel in respect of this, from the negotiation, the structuring of the deal, because they are international partners, so we must make sure that everybody is satisfied, to drafting the agreement, reviewing what is drafted, getting all the necessary governmental approvals as required per the Minings and Minerals Act, and then all the raising of the financing to be able to discharge the obligations of engineers and planners under this contract. So I have been personally involved. For me, it's more or less like our contribution to an economic independence of our country. That if for the first time you have this opportunity of a wholly owned Ghanaian putting up the risk, having the capacity to do this, and you can contribute your intellectual property to make it a success. You have to give your body, your soul, and your spirit to it, not for any personal gain. But tomorrow, when the story is told that in 2025, a Ghanaian, wholly owned Ghanaian company was able to complete the acquisition of what is arguably the largest mine, or would be the largest mine in Ghana, it could be said that, you contributed your quota by reading and writing and doing all of those things to make sure it comes. So it's, let's say, a moment of pride as well, to be able to be affiliated, with such a huge. And like with everything, there will be issues. There's nothing. There's nothing that will break barriers that comes softly. And I think that is one of the pushbacks that we have been getting, even from our own people. I mean, it's not easy to be able to raise the financing to be able to do this project at this stage, at this level. So if we've been able to do it, or on the path of doing it, we faced challenges from our own people, from outsiders who doubted our capability to do it, our capacity to do it.
What were the concerns that a Ghanaian company couldn't do it, or engineers and planners specifically are not capable? What were the concerns?
I think it's a combination of both. The fact that it's not been done to this extent before. The Ghanaian companies in the space have so far only been contract miners. You are working for somebody. For lack of a better way, you are working for the white man. You do all the groundwork, you take the gold, you hand it over to them, they pay you something. This time, you are the one going to own the mine. You are the one going to do it. And everything comes to you, remains in your country. And so the first question is the black man capable of doing this? Especially when we do not have our banks able to put up the money that is needed to acquire. So, where is he going to get the money from? He has to look around. So he has to get a bank that understands the terrain. And so all those challenges were placed before us, and they were legitimate concerns. But with the dedication, the drive, the vision, the zeal of Mr. Ibrahim Mahama and the team around him, KSM, you have no idea the caliber of personnel that surrounded Mr. Mahama to pull this through. You have no idea.
Give me some.
So most of them do not want their names out, but I can tell you, I mean, I am the least, let me put it that way. I'm the least in there, but you have highly educated, experienced persons, from all sorts of life, who have contributed to see this deal through. You have no idea. I'm just the lawyer, that the messenger. Let me put it that way. But in terms
you're being very humble here.
The persons that contributed to this highly, I'm sure very soon, when all the dust is settled, which we are 99.9% true, you would see the caliber of people that have contributed to this.
When do you expect all the dust to settle so that you can do your big launch or big press conference and announce that it is now a done deal?
I am very confident that it's a matter of days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a matter of days.
Well then, folks, I'm very proud to say we hit it first on Unfiltered. That's a matter of days.
It's a matter of days. It's a matter of days. Yeah, it's a matter of days. And once we cross that bridge, we will let you know. It's just a matter of days.
And I hope you come back to officially announce that it's a done deal.
It's done.
It's done.
It's the deal that is left. It's done. I mean, the agreement in principle is executed.
And I really, really hope, Nkrumah's great vision, when Ghana is given the chance, we have to prove to the world that we are capable of managing our own affairs.
There is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs.
That's my greatest, one thing I want to see before I leave this earth, that there's something that's substantial that Ghanaians have taken and they've proved their capability. As you were saying, that's what some of the doubts that were coming before, but can you guys handle this?
Yeah, we have, and I'm very confident. I have no doubt that with the team that is around, with the team that would come and join, completely have no doubt that you look at this project and be proud, and be proud of what a Ghanaian has been able to do for us.
Fantastic. Folks, and this is very key for me, man. Ghanaians taking ownership of an important sector like our gold. It's so important to me. And that's when I heard at first, the family and friends, I said, let's look deeper into this. And let's not once again allow petty partisan politics to overshadow something that can be generally beneficial and great for Ghana as a whole. So, Bobby, thank you so much for joining us. And very soon, it is done already. But when the deal is all signed, sealed, and delivered, I'm going to expect you here again to share with Ghana the great news for this country, that at long last, Ghana is free forever.
Long last, the battle has ended. Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever.
That's a very bad imitation. Forgive me. Thank you so much. We'll talk again.
Sure, sir.
Folks, until the next edition of Unfiltered, maybe we'll be another lawyer. I don't know. Maybe we'll be the new Chief Justice. I don't know. But let's see. Have a nice time. We'll see you later.